Welcome back to the channel. Mike Davenport, Louisville's Chevy Dude here at Bachman Chevrolet, and you're coming on a ride with me for the first time in my brand new Tesla Model S. Remember from the last reveal video, which is right up here, you can view that if you haven't viewed it. I bought this used through my dealership as a trade-in, and you can see the whole story of how that came about. Pretty interesting story. And gosh, what a beautiful, beautiful car. Now that I've had it for about 10-11 days now, and absolutely love it. Getting ready to put in a 240 volt charger for home because I need that for this car, and you'll see that video coming here in the next couple of days because that's being done right now as we speak. And then I figured that I would show you really just all around the car, the amazing technology in this car. Like I kind of mentioned in my reveal video, the technology in this car is absolutely amazing. The very extremely high-line leather seats, the leather steering wheel, you know, power telescoping tilt steering wheel, the big 14-inch display. I mean, all of this stuff is absolutely amazing. I'm not sure the size of it, but the where the speedometer is and that driver information center, how that operates and how that works, absolutely amazing. I'm just going to kind of show you all around that. But before I do, I'm going to head to the local ice cream shop here where I live in Indiana. One of the really cool things I love about this car is the regenerative braking. So with all the electric cars, same way with the Bolt and the Volt with Chevy, is you have regenerative braking that you have through a lot of the hybrids and stuff like that. Is when you let off the gas of this, I mean, this thing just stops, just dives in, just you know, puts more power into the battery, stuff like that, and it gives you a lot of feedback on the rate on the screen up here as far as what's going on with the how much kilowatts that you're using, how much you're gaining, stuff like that. And then it tells you know, just it's really aggressive braking, which is really cool because you can literally just coast up to a stop sign or a stoplight. Or this car is like super fast. It's, you know, electric car going, you know, really fast, over 100 miles an hour, and not hearing any engine roar, not hearing any exhaust. You know, that's really crazy. I was in Mexico last night and felt like that, hey, you know, I'm gonna see if I can get it to 140. I didn't get it to 140. I think I can get it to like 127. But the handling of the car is a little different than what I'm used to with my Camaro and my Corvette and other sports cars that I've drove. And then I just couldn't get it up there. And then I realized this has got the air suspension on it, and I probably should have told it that I wanted to go low suspension to kind of keep some downforce on the car and to keep some air from underneath the car, letting it lift up. So that probably put some drag on the car. But here's a quick video of driving in Mexico, doing about 127 in this car. 140. It was just kind of stalling out at that. And look at the idiot in the left lane. That idiot right there in the left lane, I couldn't get up faster, so I had to be careful. Left lane drivers, I tell you, while we're here in Mexico. Oh well. As you see, and I'm kind of verbalizing what's going through my head, that the steering is completely different than my other cars, and I'm always, anytime that I'm going fast, I'm driving, I've got a lot of experience behind the wheel of going fast, is I'm sitting there and looking probably real close to a half a mile ahead, if not a little bit more. And so what I'm doing is making sure that, you know, I'm safe. Nothing crazy happens. Don't want to get any accidents, don't want to lose any lives or anything like that. So so that's kind of what I'm looking for when I'm doing that. So there was somebody there, idiot person in the left lane that didn't need to be in the left lane, and I had to slow down. So but it was kind of stalling at 120, 127. It wasn't really picking up much speed, but I think if I do the ride height a little bit different, I can get a little bit quicker. So we'll see that maybe in the next vlog or so. So this thing's pretty awesome. Got some ice cream in there. We got some blue slushy in there. It's pretty sweet. So let's drive back home, and when I get there, I'm going to show you the entire part of this car. So I'm going to show you the screens. I'm going to show you what the screen does up here. I'm going to show you everything about this car. The first thing that I want to show you that's really cool technology wise, you can see this little home right up here. As I get closer to my house and I pull into the driveway, that's going to turn green and it will auto open my garage. So you can see that it says auto open in 10, 20 feet. So there you go. So as I pull into the garage, into the driveway, that right there auto opens the garage. I will start with the steering wheel here. So the steering wheel, we have the pretty traditional things that we see in most cars. We got volume up. They do a knob here, so you can see I'm turning the knob and there's this display right there. You can see the radio station goes there. I listen to Slacker radio, so I'll show you why I listen to Slacker radio later. But right here goes through your presets, or if you go to the next song. So the typical horn, nothing crazy there, just nice big T on there. And then you have your voice recognition system. You have scroll here as well that goes through different things as well. You can see I can control the passenger and the driver temp right there. I can push it, shut my climate off, turn it back on. I can come in here and say, hey, I want it to control fan speed, so I can control fan speed with that. I can come in here, let me make sure that fan speed's down. I can come in here and the display brightness, like right now it's at 92%. I can control that and make that go all the way down to 0 or all the way back to 100. So, and come in here, I can display my recent calls. I don't know why I want to display my recent calls up there, but you can see different things up there. And then we have contacts. Can't have any of that. I'll get copyright infringements on YouTube. So then I can go through all my contacts. So if I wanted to start going through my contacts, I could do that as well. Doesn't look like I have a lot of F's. I got over 3,000 people on my phone book, so I certainly have a whole lot. And then up here on the screen, you can see I've got the digital display. This right here is showing how much kilowatts I'm using or that I'm gaining. This is if I'm accelerating. This is for braking and regenerative braking. This is your speedometer right here. As you can see, it goes to 140, which is the top speed of this car. those are the miles on the car. I do have 20,000 miles on the car. I bought it with 19 and some change. And then this guy right here shows the speed and stuff like that. As you can see, that changed. You can see that's moving there a little bit. What that guy there does, I want to make sure I'm saying that right, that's actually sets your cruise control. So that little guy there, if I wanted to set my cruise at 60, it would pop up there to 60. So as I put it in reverse, you can see that a little car pops up there on the panel. I'm going to put it in drive, and I'm going to go towards the Corvette here. Oops, we don't want to auto close. We're going to skip that. So we'll see that it'll start telling me that I am close to the Corvette now. So I get the front of the car because I have front and rear park sensors. So as I get closer and closer to the car, it physically tells you how many inches away from an object or anything like that. So now that I've put it in reverse, it shows me the back of the car. I'll back up here. I'm gonna pull up into the shade just a little bit so we can see everything good. Put it in park, and you're good to go. So that's there. So I'm going to show you one other thing up here on the display that's really, really cool. We're going to go over to the big screen. This is a 14-inch screen of the car. I'm going to put in a destination. I'm going to hit navigate. I'm going to go to the Supercharger. Oops, I hit Bowling Green, Kentucky. It doesn't matter. I'll never get there with, well, I'll be really close actually, now that I look at it. So what this is telling me is I have the Louisville Supercharger, which is 15 minutes away, and I can charge up right there. The Bowling Green, Kentucky one is 137 miles, 2 hours, 31 minutes away, which I've gotten there much quicker. If you remember Nick's video, I got there in just a little over an hour. But it tells me it's 137 miles away, and if I come over here, it tells me that I have 138 miles of charge on the display. So without any issues, I would get there with 1 mile to spare, which I would not chance that at all. I can remove the charging station stops because I'm not going to stop at any charging stations, and so now it's telling me what time I'd get there and stuff like that. But that's not really what I was going to show you. What I was going to show you is really, really cool. Right up here, as you can see that it shows the map up there now. And that's really, really, really cool. That's really, really awesome that it shows the map. And I'm seeing something new here. This is really cool. Stay below 55 miles an hour to reach your destination. I didn't know that did that. So this is something new I'm learning right here live as I'm doing my vlog. It's telling me I'm going to have 6% battery life left when I get to the Bowling Green, Kentucky Supercharger. So it is basically telling me if I want to get there, it's going to take me 2.5 hours to get there. I'll get there at 7:59, which they are on Central Time, and I got a 131-mile trip to go, and that if I want to get there, I need to stay below 55 miles an hour, so that way I get the battery life out of or get the battery range out of what charge is available. So as I tell everybody, there's 3 T's to battery life, battery range. That's terrain, technique, and temperature. We can't do anything with terrain, we can't do anything with temperature, but we can certainly do a whole lot with technique. So the technique is what's telling us there to stay below 55, so we get the best range. I'm gonna go into that a little bit later though. So I'm gonna turn the wheel here so you can kind of see a couple things on this side. This is your tilt and telescoping steering wheel. You can see the steering wheel is going up and down. Push that forward, that's going to come out. Now what's really, really cool is if I move anything on here, oops, I hit the voice recognition. So if I move anything, seat, mirrors, anything like that, it's going to come up here and say, hey, wait a second, you just moved your driver profile. What do you want to do? Now I could save that if I like the new position, or I can come back and just say hit restore, and it's going to move the steering wheel back to where I had it originally. So windshield wipers and turn signals are right here, pretty typical with any car. Got high beams forward to put them on, back to if you're pissed off at somebody and flash them. And I have it in this first setting right here because this car has got automatic wiper control, so therefore I can put that right there, and if we get any type of rain or anything like that, moisture in the windshield, it'll automatically turn the wipers on to get rid of that. Cruise control is the top stalk right here. This is off and on. This is your set, this is your coast, this is also resume. If you want to cancel, like without hitting the brake, you can just kind of push forward and that cancels the cruise and saves your position. So that way if you're coming up on somebody, I can simply just hit it like this. It cancels the cruise, kind of the same thing as tapping the brake. And then I can just, when I'm done, I can hit that when somebody's out of my way, because you know how much I love those left lane drivers. So back up to the screen here, you can see I also have what my last 50 miles of range are and how good I'm doing. Obviously you want it above the line, you don't want it below the line, but I'm having a little fun in the car. So then we'll go over to the screen now. We'll focus on this a little bit more. So when I went back again on the test drive of the Tesla back in 2012, this is when I learned about Slacker radio, and they showed me about Slacker, and I'm like, really? I've never heard of it. I was using Pandora, wasn't a fan of Pandora, still not a fan of Pandora, but with Slacker I really enjoy it because it allows me to choose the songs I want to listen to. I pay the premium price per month so I can listen to it, and if I wanted to type in something up here, like say I wanted to look for a song, Shape of You, oops, got a little fat finger there. So see, you can see I got all sorts of things out there that say Shape Of. So I was going after the Ed Sheeran Shape of You. Now it'll start playing, and that's what I really like about Slacker. So you can see now. So now you can see that's playing. So that's what I like about it. You can see I've thumbs up this song because I really like the song. If I wanted to thumbs down it, I could thumbs down it and whatnot. So I can control that all through there. So you can see I've got other kind of options here. You can do this. So, but what's really cool is if you see this icon right here, I can hit that and it brings up the whole page of it. So I can bring that down, bring back the map up. So the map is powered by Google, so it's Google Maps. So if I wanted to bring up the overview of the satellite, I could do that. If I wanted to do different things, see where my power stations are. So there's a couple different power stations here. I can shut that off, stuff like that. Of course I can plus minus, just like our phones. I can zoom in and zoom out just with pinching, which is perfect because that's what we're used to. Hit the come back to my centered screen, and then they'll go to the next one. This is the navigation, so you can see I can hit that and go full screen as well, which is really cool. I don't have a calendar saved in here. I don't have a calendar with my phone in here, so that's what the calendar's for. This is consumption. So same as what's up here, but it's a little bit more detailed. Up there's the last 15 miles. I can hit for 30. It shows 30 up there as well. If I want to say 5, I can show 5. So you can kind of see how good and how bad I was doing with my driving habits. So now the really next cool thing is this vehicle has got Wi-Fi on it. So this is the first vehicle that I found that had Wi-Fi available in it. It's a 3G connection, so that kind of sucks. It's a little slow, but nonetheless, I can pull up my website, ChevyDude.com, right there, and it's going a little slow, and that'll change as it loads completely, but just because I'm on 3G. But in a pinch, I've got complete 3G Wi-Fi service that I can find things on here and whatnot, so which is really cool. So if you wanted to click on, yeah, so it's just kind of being goofy where I'm at here. So and then up top here we have backup camera. So we got the backup camera right there, and so if I put this in reverse, you'll see the lines pop up here. You can see a car is driving by my house right now, and if I hit this guy right here, this is going to bring up kind of what we saw up on the screen up there. You can see the back ends there. Now I've got the whole screen there and the whole car, and if I get close to something, it's going to bring out those waves again and tell me. If I want to not have any sound, I can hit that button. Obviously I do want to have sound. Having a visual and an audio over the whole thing is good. So again, if I go towards the Corvette, it'll pop up and tell me that I'm getting 25 inches away from my Corvette. So put it back in park, we're good to go. I can hit this X at the top here, and it comes back to the full screen, or to the half screen, and with my website down here. So the The really cool thing about this is that I can literally be driving down the road with this on. So I don't know why I want to do it. It's kind of goofy. It's kind of interesting to have, to say the least, but it's there. So then we got the phones. So I got my phone in here, but it's not connected. My buddy Dylan connects his phone to every car possible out there. So I can just say, hey, connect my phone. And it's kind of been messing around with it, so that's why it wasn't connected. So it'll connect my phone and I can start making phone calls, stuff like that. So up top here, I'm gonna come back up here. We got the charging. So right now you can see I still have 137 miles of charge. You want to set a charge limit on here, so that's what this arrow is right here. You don't want to charge the Tesla completely 100% unless you're going on a trip. So they say that it can lessen the battery life, so we obviously don't want to mess up these batteries. No idea how expensive they are, but I'm sure they're probably expensive. So you can set the charge limit, and you can see that this is kind of like daily, and I can kind of move that everywhere I want to go. And if I want to make a trip, now I can, if I want to take a trip and get the whole 250, 260 miles out of here, I can do that. So I've got that dialed down to about right there. Hit the word done and it's good to go. So in Kentucky, don't need to worry about it. I live in Indiana. We don't need to do scheduled charging because we don't have different rates here in either one of those two states for charging during the day, more expensive than charging at night, so we don't have to schedule that. And you can see, oops, come back here, you can see that you have different amps that you can charge the car at as well. So the controls down here, very, very cool controls. The suspension, I can control the suspension. I can tell that I want it to go low. You'll see the car start dropping, which is really, really cool. Kind of hard to see on camera if that's dropping or not, but it did just drop. We'll set it back to very high. You can see the car's dropping right now. It's really cool. Now it's going back up. I'm not moving the camera at all. So now what's really cool about this, you can see it says auto raising location. So I've actually got this set up so when I pull to my driveway, it automatically goes to very high, and so that way I don't rub or anything like that. So I'm gonna show you this one more time. I'm not gonna move the camera. It's gonna go, I'm gonna go to low, and you can see more of the light of my Corvette showing up. So just there, it drops again. And there it's all done, so I'm gonna go back up to very high. So driving, so you got different ways of driving as well. Steering control, if you want comfort, standard, or sport. I like the sport. So the creep mode is on right now, so this will allow you to slowly move forward when the brake pedal is released. I can hit off, and like literally if I let go of the brake, the car will just sit there, so it won't creep on me. Standard regenerative braking, so this is where it's going to dive, kind of like I was talking about earlier when I let my foot off the brake. And then range mode, I always forget what that is. Range mode is will save energy by reducing climate control, power heating, or cooling. They can be maybe less effective. So yeah, what that does, like I kind of said earlier, there's 3 T's to battery range, and that's terrain, technique, and temperature. Typically I would not want to have this at 68 or 69. I actually want to have it maybe like at 72, 73, or completely off and roll the windows down. But I have the 240 volt charger here now, so I can charge the car up pretty quickly, so I'm not too worried about it. So down here we can open the front trunk, which is the front. You can see now that I hit that it is now showing that it's open. Same on the display up there. If I want to open up my charge port, I can hit that. So now the charge port is open, as it says there. So I'm gonna cancel out of there. You can see I get a display there. If I want to unlock the car doors, I can do that, or open the trunk as well. So these are all the headlights, so they're on auto. Same with the daytime running lights and the fog lights. Same with the dome lights. So the really cool thing about this that I like, I'm gonna flip the turn signal on here, and you can see that now the car is so intuitive that it actually makes this light up right there. So that's really, really cool. If I turn the lights on, now it's going to say, hey, your lights are on, and then the car is named Davenport, so that's why it says Davenport there, and it shows the lights are on. Same way with the turn signals on there, whatnot. So it's really, really cool that it does that. We'll put that back to auto. And then just kind of goes through the trips, kind of goes through your displays. So I got that on auto, so that way it does everything good. That's your electric brake. You really don't have to mess with it, but we can do that. This is for an emergency, like if you're in an accident or something and you want to hit power off on it. So one thing I think Tesla did was they stole the Mercedes-Benz shifter knob. So this is definitely a Mercedes-Benz shifter knob. Typical, put your foot in the brake, hit reverse. It's gonna do it, telling you, hey, don't drive. Your front trunk is unlatched. Put it down to D, and then hit P for park. Very, very easy to do. So press for neutral. So I'm sure you have to put your, yep, you have to ignore and continue to drive with my front open. So we're not going to do that. So then you got your settings up here. So just different settings. We got the driver 1, driver 2 type settings. If we want it to be in imperial or metric, 24-hour clock, whatever the case may be. Vehicle settings, headlights after exit. We can have those on or off. Auto mirror tilt, auto mirror fold. I kind of showed that in the reveal video. When you walk away, the door handles suck in and the mirrors fold in. Cabin overheat protection, kind of want that because that's going to allow you to make sure the cabin doesn't get overheated, the batteries stay, doors, locks, stuff like that. So this just tells you how you're going to do it. Safety and security, so mobile access, I can turn that off or on, so because there's an app with the vehicle. Displays, that was kind of up there. Homelink, I've got that all set up. So the so this tells you it's going to chime. You can create another Homelink if I have another garage door or anything like that, and this is just service and stuff like that. So and then I got apps up here, so I got navigation and calendar. And with the car, the owner's manual is completely inside here, so there's no paper owner's manual, which I think every car manufacturer should go to that. There's PDF on every manufacturer's out there. I can get a owner's manual today with no problem. So this just tells you everything you need to know about everything. So this is all the disclaimers, and it probably saves them a little bit of money as well on everything. So the so driver information center there, my driver profiles. If I want to put it in valet mode, I can create a PIN number, and that just locks a lot of the stuff out so people can't mess with my car. Disable that, so you're good to go. And you got all the climate controls, heated seats down here. Trunk, the glove box is right there. You got the hazard lights over here. You got LED spotlights on the inside, which is really cool. And I got all sorts of open space right here. So I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the vlog, the really nice leather seating that Tesla has. Absolutely amazing stuff. So there you have it for this vlog on the overview and walk around on my 2013 Tesla Model S. So I really appreciate you watching. I really appreciate you being a subscriber. If this is the first time that you have watched one of my videos, make sure you hit the thumbs up, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see future videos. The next couple of videos that are coming up, I'm going to show you how I installed my 240 volt charger for really cheap. And also the cops came to my house during that, which I got that on video. Secondly, I got to drive a Callaway 757 horsepower Z06. So that's going to be coming up here right after the 240 volt charger. So again, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you get the notifications. I try to get them out there on a timely manner, but my main job is sell cars, not vlog. But I really like to do vlogging, and I like your guys' feedback. Hey, again, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. If there's anything I can do for you to help you buy a car and you're ready to buy a car, not buy a car in a year, but buy a car now, hit me up, ChevyDude.com. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Drive safely and be great. Nothing else pays.